Learning how to forgive yourself for the past mistakes you have made in your own life, or learning how to forgive other people, can be some of the hardest things in life people deal with. Some people can't forgive themselves or people for months, years, decades, or even unfortunately, some people, eventually take to their grave holding resentment and not being able to forgive people. So I believe it's a very important topic because it affects so many of us every single day. So here in this video, I want to give you 3 different ways you can forgive yourself and also 3 different ways you can forgive other people. So the first way in regards to forgiving yourself is realizing you can't control the past. See, even 30 minutes ago, I can't change 30 minutes ago. I can't change what happened yesterday, a month ago, months ago, years ago. You have to realize you can't change the past. No matter how much we wish we could go back and change the past, no matter what we do right now, like nothing can literally change the past. It's already happened. And it happened the way it was supposed to happen because that's the way it did happen. So the way I like to explain it is the more energy, emotions, and mental space you focus on the past, something you can't change, you literally take that away from your future. You take that away from your present. So you're investing emotions and mental energy in the past in a negative way, opposed to trying to focus on what you want to experience today and in the future. So you see how that works against you. So you have to realize you can't control the past. Having resentment about the past and things you can't control anymore, giving yourself a hard time about it, honestly, you're doing no favor to yourself. You're literally working against yourself in the present moment and creating the space you want in your future also. So a reference I like to use is, if you were to go outside right now and start to drive in your car, could you drive anywhere looking up in your rearview mirror the whole time? No, you can't. It's the reason why the rearview mirror is so small and your windshield is very large, because that's where you're looking. That's where you have to be looking. So I consider that windshield, that front windshield, that is the present moment and that is the future, what you're working towards. You have to start investing your thoughts and your emotions and energy into the windshield, into the now, the present moment, and what you want out of life in the future. You can't do it in the windshield, unfortunately. You end up crashing. If you try to drive anywhere, maybe just a couple miles away, looking in the windshield the whole time, you will probably crash into somebody or something. So that's a good reminder I like to always tell myself throughout the day, or just different moments in my life when certain things come up and I find myself focused on the past, is realizing I can't control it. Am I looking at my rearview mirror or am I looking in the front windshield? And that's what I always remind myself. It kind of helps me stay on track, stay in the present moment, and stay focused on what I want out of life rather than just simply being stuck in the past. So that's the first one, realizing you can't change the past. So having resentment, anger, sadness, and all these different emotions towards the past, especially within regards to yourself, you're not doing yourself any favor. You're literally holding yourself back. So a second way to help you forgive yourself is focusing on the emotions that you want to experience in life. So if I were to ask you, hey, what emotions, if tomorrow was the best day in your life, what emotions would you experience from the time you wake up, from the time you went to sleep? What emotions would you be experiencing? You can take and pause and answer the question yourself. For most people, it would be happiness, be joy, be peace, be just being in harmony with yourself, just being grateful. So all these different positive emotions, and those are the emotions we have to try to create. They don't just happen. You have to create these emotions and be intentional about creating them. When you go to sleep at night, you have to plan accordingly. Say, how do I operate tomorrow in a way that lets me experience the emotions I want to experience in life? And you have to learn to create that. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. If we look at an emotional frequency chart, I'll try to put one on the screen here. Shame and guilt are literally the lowest emotions you can be experiencing as a human. When you are feeling shameful and guiltful, these are the lowest vibrations you can feel. And a lot of people don't realize that. So when you can learn to forgive yourself, that's where you can start to remove that guilt, remove that shame. If you want to have a bad day, Or if you want to have a day where you're feeling sad or angry, experience guilt and shame. Go throughout the day being down on yourself about your decisions in the past and everything like that. And you will literally have a bad day. You will literally have a day that you aren't proud of because you're feeling shameful, you're feeling guilty. And it's because this frequency chart, you have to realize if I'm walking around in shame and guilt and I can't forgive myself from the past mistakes, even if it's just yesterday, then you're literally creating a day that is going to be low vibration. The energy is going to be low. You're going to be sad. You're going to be angry. You're going to just not have a good day because you can't. How can you with these low vibrations, with shame and guilt? Like I said, they are the lowest on the scale of humans' emotions. When you get to these high vibration emotions like love, like joy, peace, and stuff like that, that's where you can create in the present moment and create a future that you're proud of. You can't create when you're in a state of shame, when you're in a state of guilt. It just doesn't work like that. You're going to be hyper focused on certain emotions and you're going to have these intrusive thoughts and all this different stuff. But once you can begin to vibrate higher, have some love for yourself, have some peace, make peace with the past and stuff like that, that's where you can create a day that you're proud of. That's where you can begin to work towards your future. I know from personal experiences in my own life when dealing with addiction and stuff like that, and you get stuck in that shame and guilt vibrations, it's just hard to move forward. You just end up staying there. You end up having this sabotaging circle where you just go in a constant cycle of shame, guilt, more bad decisions, more bad actions, and you just stay there. You have to learn to start forgiving yourself so you can move up on the hierarchy of emotions, so you can have love, so you can have peace, joy, and emotions like that. So a third way to begin to forgive yourself and let go of the past is going to be extending grace to yourself. You have to extend grace to yourself and realize that forgiving yourself is an utmost form of self-love. So you have to learn to forgive yourself. If you can't forgive yourself, then that means you're not loving yourself. It works hand in hand. We have maybe family members or different people in our lives who we have forgave. And why do we forgive them? It's because we love them. So it's more so with yourself more than anybody, because who are you with all day? You're with yourself all day, 24 hours a day. So you have to forgive yourself first and foremost and extend that grace to yourself. Don't beat yourself up over something you can't change. Yes, you should have accountability. If you made some bad decisions or you behaved in a way that contradicts your morals and stuff like that, then you should feel a way about it. It means you have a consciousness. If you didn't care, then that means you don't have a conscience. So if you care, that is a good thing because you do care, but just don't overdo it. Try to learn from the past and say, okay, I can't change the past, but today I can try to right my wrongs in a sense that I behave in a way that demonstrates I'm trying to become a better version of myself. I'm trying to have morals now. I'm trying to have a moral compass where I do what's right. I do what's right by myself and other people. So that's how you extend grace to yourself. You acknowledge the past, you acknowledge your mistakes and your shortcomings, but ultimately you realize you can't change it. All I can do today is try to make today a day that I'm proud of. All I can do today is try to act in a way and behave in a way that best suits myself and other people. That's all you can do. You can't do anything about what happened yesterday. So extend that grace to yourself so you can start to create days and emotions and energy that you want to have in life. You have to begin to learn to make peace with yourself. Make peace with the past. If you made some bad decisions a week ago, you have to make peace with it because it's who you were at that time. At the time that event happened, that's where you were vibrating at. That's what happened. That's the actions you took. You have to make peace with it and don't let it define you. And that's something I always emphasize to people. Like when I do a lot of work with at-risk teens and stuff like that, I have to let them know that your mistakes in life don't define you. You being in this certain facility or this place or that place, it doesn't define you. It doesn't mean you're a bad person and you will continue to be this way for the rest of your life. It's just a chapter in your life and you can start a new chapter. You can turn a new page. You can become a better person. You can go on to do great things in life. Don't ever be in a position where you think a mistake is going to keep you that way for the rest of your life. But sadly, a lot of people, they do let a mistake define them. They just continue to stay in a box and say, well, I'm just going to be this way forever. Well, see, I keep making this bad decision, so I'm just going to be like this. No, it's never over until it's over. If you woke up today, it's a new day. If you wake up tomorrow, it's a new day. Like every day is a new day, and you can demonstrate new actions, new behaviors, new thoughts, and you can treat people kind, treat yourself kind. Like every day is a new day. It's a new opportunity. I don't care if you've been a certain way 20, 30, 40, 50 years. If you wake up today, it's a new day. You can try to create a day that's in harmony with a better person, in harmony with who you want to become, not the version of you from the past. So a quote I like is, once you make peace with yourself and you forgive yourself, no one else can shame or guilt you. If you have already did the internal work and already forgiven yourself, and today you're behaving in a better way, and today you are operating at a high frequency, you won't let anybody shame or guilt you from the past. You see online or different places, like people will try to shame and guilt you for stuff you've done years and years ago. And to me, that really just shows they are operating at a low frequency. Because if you're sitting up here talking about something somebody did 10 years ago, like really? That's like to say, like, we don't change every day. Like, people change every day. The past doesn't have to define you. So those are 3 ways you can start to forgive yourself. Comment below, what's the hardest thing you've had to forgive yourself for? Have you already forgave yourself, or are you still in the process of trying to forgive yourself? Comment below. I would be interested in hearing everyone's stories and different experiences. So now a few key points in regards to forgiving other people is, the first one is realizing that ultimately you not forgiving somebody, or you having resentment towards people because of the past and the way they wronged you, or whatever the case is, it's ultimately only affecting you. It's only affecting you at this point. People can be going on down the road, years and years down the road. They're living their best life. They're sleeping good at night. They're not losing any sleep over how they wronged you. But you still have this anger and resentment inside of you. Who is it affecting? It's not affecting that other person. It's just affecting you. So you have to be mindful and realize that. You have to realize, man, why would I be feeling this way towards this person, or having these emotions and energy inside of me that aren't benefiting me in any way? They aren't benefiting the direction I want to be going in life, when this person doesn't even care. You just have to be mindful and realize it's only affecting me at this point. I'm the only one losing sleep about it, or having these days where I get triggered and all this different stuff. Just realize it's only affecting you. You have to be the one to release these emotions and let go of this stuff and forgive people out of your own interest. But yeah, that brings us to the second way, and it's realizing it's not about the other person. A lot of people think it's about the other person. Well, how can I forgive this person if they haven't even said sorry, or if they aren't sorry, or if they still behave the same way? And you have to learn to realize that it's not about the other person. It's about you. I don't care if they haven't changed. I don't care if they aren't even sorry about it. You have to say, I'm going to forgive this person. I don't want to carry around this anger, this sadness, these low vibrating emotions anymore. And I'm going to choose to release these emotions and forgive this person and move on with my life. So yeah, it's not about the other person. I don't care if you never talk to them again in life. Or some people, they think they need closure from someone. You don't need any closure. All you have to do is internally, in your body, in your nervous system, with your emotions and everything like that, like learn to release these emotions and let them go, and reframe your thoughts around it, and realize these thoughts about this person or this experience, it's not harming this person, it's just harming me. So you start looking at things differently. Use it as a stepping stone. Use it in a way, okay, how can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? Instead of being stuck with these emotions and these intrusive thoughts. And that's what it's about. It's about releasing it. It reminds me of something I heard recently when someone was telling a story. It was talking about one of the worst things you can do is allow someone who isn't a part of your life anymore to continue to still impact you today. So people can have like a family member or an ex or whatever, where they haven't talked to this person in years or months or whatever the case is, decades, but that person still has some type of effect over them. And it made a lot of sense to me because it's so true. Holding on to something somebody did or whatever, no matter how big or small it is, it's only hurting you. And you have to extend love and grace to yourself and realize, man, I'm going to just let this go. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do the therapy, the counseling, whatever I need to do, the meditations, the reading, the praying, whatever you have to do to get into a place where you are releasing those emotions, you are releasing that resentment and letting that stuff go so you can start working on building the present person that you're proud of and working towards your future. Like I said, if I ask you tomorrow, what emotions do you want to experience? You're not going to be saying anger. You're not going to be telling me sadness and guilt and shame and all this different stuff. It's going to be the opposite of that. Peace, joy, happiness, love, harmony, all these different high vibrating emotions. So the third thing in regards to forgiving other people is realizing just because you forgive someone does not mean they have to continue to be a part of your life. So I don't want you to misconstrue and think, I want you to just forgive people and allow them to walk all over you in life. No, that's not what I'm saying. You still have to have boundaries. You have to put yourself first, and you should have healthy boundaries, and you should communicate those boundaries. And if people aren't respecting your boundaries, then they have to go. The truth of the matter is, a lot of people, they don't deserve second chances in your life. That's just reality. Now, if it's family or certain people like that, you have to still have your boundaries. And maybe y'all can do family counseling or this and that to try to see if y'all can get on the same page. But if a person can't respect you and your boundaries, then they pretty much are disrespecting you, and they are proving that they don't want to love you the way you deserve to be loved. So you should have boundaries, and just because you need to forgive people, it doesn't mean that you forgive them and just let them back into your life and then they just can mistreat you. That's not what this video is about. This video is about forgiving people so you aren't living with emotions that aren't beneficial to you. But once you forgive people, like I said, you have to establish those boundaries. It doesn't mean you let them in your life any type of way. If it means you don't talk to them or don't see them, or you just send them a few texts every year or whatever the case is, that may be the case. I'm not the one to determine that. I just wanted to emphasize that just because you forgive someone, it doesn't mean that they have to continue to be a part of your everyday life. You have to determine what boundaries are best for you and that person. It's going to vary for everyone, and that's what you need to implement as long as you put yourself first. That's the most important thing. Put yourself first and then determine what boundaries will be best for you depending on that. So comment below. Is there a family member or a friend or an ex or somebody in your life that you need to forgive, that you still have a hard time forgiving? Comment below who that person is and why you're having a hard time forgiving them. Like I said, I would be interested to hear everybody's stories. Subscribe to become a part of the vulnerable tribe. Here on this channel, we will be helping ourselves and helping other people. Take care.